Hello, I am Ganesh Uppari from ENH iSecure. In this session, we'll be discussing the concept of transparent user management. Our agenda will be focusing on first we'll start with the types of users in CyberArk and then transparent users and groups, prerequisites for LDAP integration, directory mapping, and then user provisioning, LDAP synchronization, and at the last we'll be discussing managing transparent users and groups. In CyberArk, there are two types of users, internal users and transparent users. The user management interface in PrivateArk client displayed on the right side illustrate examples of both internal user and the transparent user, and also called as external users. Transparent users are automatically provisioned into the vault upon their initial authentication. Transparent users and groups. In CyberArk, transparent users and groups refers to accounts and groups automatically integrated with external directory services like Active Directory or LDAP. Transparent users are synced directly from the directory, eliminating the need of manual account creation. They log in using the directory credentials with the changes automatically updated in CyberArk. A transparent user is created for the first time. User is referenced in one of the following situations. First, the user logons on the vault, or the user is added as safe member, or the user is added as group member. Transparent group. Groups are imported from directly, allowing role-based access and simplified permission management. Any group changes in a directory are dynamically reflected in CyberArk. A transparent group is created when a group is defined in one or more external directories are added as a safe owners or as a members of regular group in CyberArk Vault. Prerequisites for LLAP integration. The prerequisite for LLAP integration, including identifying the four groups and the users that we need to be integrated in CyberArk. LLAP integration can be configured in two ways. First, LLAP integration or LLAP-S integration. If LDAP is selected, port 389 must be open between domain controller and the vault server. If LDAP-S is chosen, port 636 must be open between domain controller and the vault server. Additionally, for LDAP-S, the SSL certificate from the domain controller must be imported into CyberArk Trusted Certificate Store. We'll be discussing in detail about it in further slides. LDAP integration. LDAP enables a CyberArk to authenticate and provision users from Active Directory or other LDAP compliant directories. LDAP is a plain text and insecure, so we recommend to use LDAP-S integration. Integration step for LDAP. First, enter the domain details. So in this step, enter the existing domain. In the second step, select the directory type. So we need to choose the Active Directory or any other LDAP services which you are used. In the last step, provisioning the user. LDAP users or groups are automatically imported into a CyberArk. So it is strongly recommended to use LDAP for the secure communication, which we will look at it in the next slide. LDAP-S integration. LDAP-S integration using SSL connection. To install the SSL certificate for LDAP-S integration, follow these steps. First, request the certificate. In real-time scenario, we request the SSL certificate from the client's team. For this setup, download the root certificate from the domain controller's certificate authority. Download the root certificate. Open the certificate service on the domain controller. Click on the link labeled download the CA certificate. Then click on the download CA certificate again to confirm. When prompted, click keep to save the certificate. Now the next step is to install the SSL certificate on the vault server.
Sign into the Vault server as an administrator. Open the Run dialog. Right-click on the Start menu and select Run button. Type certlm.msc and click OK. Now import the certificate. Expand the certificate local computer, trusted root certificate authority, and computer. From the action menu, select all tasks, import to open the certificate import wizard. Click next to proceed the file to import window. Browse and select the certificate file, whichever you have downloaded. Click next to proceed. Select all the certificates in the following store. Ensure the certificate store is set to trusted root certificate authorities. Click next and then finish to complete the import process. Updating the host file to enable hostname resolution. Navigate to the directory in the File Explorer. Go to C, Windows, System32, Drivers, etc. folder. Open the command prompt as an administrator. Select the file menu and choose Open Command Prompt as an administrator. Confirm by selecting Yes to the user account control pop-up. Edit the host file in the command prompt. Type notepad host and press enter as the required line to the end of the file and save it. That is, we need to add the IP address of domain controller and fully qualified name of domain. After installing the SSL certificate into the Vault server, move to PVWA. Select the CyberArk authentication, login as an administrator. In the PVWA left side menu, select user provisioning. In the user provisioning, select LDAP integration. The first step is to connect the Vault with the LDAP server. The new wizard in the PVWA will guide you through this process. You will be required to provide the connection details. Those are the domain name, credential for the bind account to authenticate to LDAP, and the base context from which you want to begin the LDAP queries. Directory mapping. The predefined Active Directory groups from the left side menu are mapped to CyberArk groups as follows. ENS CyberArk Administrator is mapped to Vault Admins. ENH CyberArk Safe Manager is mapped to CyberArk Safe Managers. ENH CyberArk Auditors is mapped to CyberArk Auditors. ENH CyberArk User is mapped to CyberArk Users. User permissions. Adding a member from OU and assigning permissions to a safe. Select the safe. Choose a desired safe where you want to add a member. Add a member from a OU. Select the organizational unit and choose a member you wish to add. For example, user 01. Assign a permissions. So assigning a permission to a user as required. Here in our case, we added read-only permission to the user 01 to a particular safe. Safe access. A user from a CyberArk Vault group has full permission, a complete control over all safes, including creating, modifying, and deleting safes, and managing all user permissions. A user from CyberArk Auditors group has read-only access, ability to view safe content and audit logs without making any changes. A user from Safe Managers group can have a manage permissions, authority to manage the safe settings and add or remove members and assign permission within the safe. A user from the CyberArk users group has user specific permission, access to the safe and permissions assigned by a safe manager, typically including password retrieval and usage. Vault authorization. A user from Vault admin group has full permission, complete control over the vault, including manage safes, manage users, and system configurations. A user from CyberArk Safe Manager group has a vault authorization permission to manage safe permission. That is, authority to create and manage safe, add or remove members and assign permission within the safe. A user from CyberArk Auditor group has a vault authorization to read-only access. That is, ability to view audit logs, reports, and session recording without making any changes. Any user from CyberArk users group has a vault authorization to user-specific permission, access to the safe, and safe permissions as assigned by the safe managers, typically including password retrieval, usage, and connect to a target machine. User provisioning. Users are provisioned automatically in the vault for the first time they authenticate via LDAP, receiving roles and attributes based on the directory mapping that they apply to them. LDAP users and groups that have been created in the vault are marked with the white LDAP user or group icon. If you delete a user within a CyberArk, it will be automatically recreated upon login if it still exists in Active Directory. To block an LDAP user or a group from a CyberArk, remove them from all the groups with associated directory mapping or delete them in external directory. A daily query checks which user map to various queries. Custom directory mapping. In addition to predefined mapping, you can create a custom directory mapping via wizard in PWA. CyberArk custom directory defines specific rules and mapping between external directory users and CyberArk vault users. The order of mapping is crucial for users in multiple groups. For example, if a user belongs to both helpdesk and a vault admin, they will receive the privileges of first listed mapping. If helpdesk is listed first, the user will only receive the helpdesk permissions. Choose the LDAP group from the external directory, then select the appropriate template needed. LDAP synchronization. The parameter autosync external object in the dbparam.ini file determines if, how often, and when the vault external users and groups will be synchronized with the external directory. Yes indicate whether or not to sync the external objects. 24. The number of hours in one period cycle. Between 1 to 5, the hours during which the syncs will take place. Managing transparent users and groups from PrivateArk client. Log into the PrivateArk client using your credential. Select the transparent user or group you wish to manage. You can update the user, delete the user, or assign the safe ownership to the user. Managing transparent users and group from PWA. Log into a PWA using credentials. From the left-hand menu, navigate to the user provisioning drop-down and select the users or groups. From the displayed user list, locate a transparent user you wish to manage. Click on the three dots next to the user and select the edit to manage user or group. So far, we have understood the concept of transparent user management, which includes types of users in CyberArk, transparent users and groups, prerequisite for LDAP integration, directory mapping, user provisioning, LDAP synchronization, the last, managing transparent users and groups from both PrivateArk client and PWA. I am going to walk through the user management process in the next video.